Hi guys, Steph here. What have we got for you today? Let's have a look at it. Can you tell what it is? Well, I think some of you will be there now shouting, yes, it's a Parker Challenger fountain pen. No, I'm afraid not. What we've got for you here is a lovely Parker Televisor Junior fountain pen. The Parker Televisor fountain pens, they were out from around about 1935 through to 1940s, and they were made in Canada. In fact, I believe they may actually be the first sort of pens that were made in the Parker factory in Canada. I don't know how true that is, but as I say, it's made in Canada, and it comes in this gorgeous, as you can see here, this green marbling colour in lovely condition. It's one I found on my travels somewhere. We've restored it, put a new sack in it, etc., and we'll try it out in a moment for you. But as I say, it's the Parker Televisor. This one is actually the Mark II. Now, for you regular viewers, you will know that I've actually already shown you a Parker Televisor Mark I. So what I'll do at the end of the video, I'll put you a link up there for the Mark I, so go and have a look at that one. But this one, as we said, is the Mark II version, the Parker Televisor Junior fountain pen. The size of the pen from the top of the cap to the bottom of the barrel, it's 121mm capped. Around the diameter of the barrel, it's approximately about 10.5mm in diameter. Now, it comes with gold-filled trim. You can see it's got this quite a large cap band to the bottom of the cap. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether they actually, I believe they may have actually had the pen with 3 cap bands within the Mark II, but I'm not 100% sure. But in this particular case, as you can see, it's got this single sort of quite a large cap band to the bottom of the cap. The clip there, if we show you a sideways view, you will notice there's a slight difference in the clip now. Now, the Mark I version had what we termed as a Parker ball clip, so the clip was slightly different. And then what happened when they brought this particular model out around about around 1938, they changed the clip to this they call it a streamlined clip, and you can see there to the center it's got the word Parker. Again, there's a sideways view. So whereas the Mark I had the ball clip, we now have this Parker streamlined clip. To the very top of the cap there, we've got this slightly peaked cap stud to the very top of the cap there, and that sort of complements the blind cap to the bottom there. You can see that's in black as well. Now, let's see if we can show you the barrel imprint. Now, unfortunately, as with a lot of these pens, it's slightly worn, although it's legible with a loop. So I'm just going to, I think it's around about there, so I'm just going to keep it still, give it a little twirl as I'm doing it like so. But what it actually reads is, to the left it has made in Canada, to the middle it has to the top Parker, and then underneath Televisor, and then to the right it has Junior, and then to the very right it has registered trademark. So from around 1938, so we're talking what, a 78-year-old 70 or 80-year-old pen. Yeah, I think it's quite acceptable that the imprint is a little bit worn, but either way, still a gorgeous pen. Now, as we said earlier, or maybe we didn't, this one is, as you can see there, it's a button filler. So we've got the blind cap to the bottom here in my hand, and to the right there you can see we've got this button, this brass button, and if you can actually see just to the left of the button there, sitting on top of the thread, as with a lot of these pens of the period, this one has the what we term as the crooked pressure bar. So you can see the crux section there sat on top of the threads there. So it's got what we term as a crooked pressure bar inside the pen. Let's unscrew it. Let's give you a couple of the customary twirls of the pen. In lovely condition, as I said. I've fully restored it. We've put a new sack in it. Let's take you up to this section there. Now the section is quite short and again very difficult to see, but to the bottom of the section, this pen and this particular model has a what we term as an ink view section, so it's transparent, so presumably you can see how much ink you have left in the pen. Let's take you up to the nib there. It's got a lovely nib on it. If I keep it nice and still for you, the nib reads Parker fountain pen, 14 karat, Canada to the bottom, and then to the very bottom there, hopefully you can see the number 8. So the number 8, I think we can easily make this pen correspond with the date 1938. Okay, so it's the correct nib for the pen. There's a sideways view for you, and let's show you the feed underneath. You can see the very sort of traditional, sort of flat combed feed to the bottom there. Okay, again lovely and clean as it should be, and ready for the new owner. So a lovely pen. It's not the largest of pens, it's not a sort of a dinky size pen. Even with my large hands, yeah, it's still sort of quite comfortable. With the section being slightly concaved, it's still quite comfortable for me personally to hold and to write with. Yes, I said right, okie dokie, yes, I can hear you. Everybody's shouting, yes, can we see it writing? Okay, so let's unscrew the blind cap. Let's pop that to one side. Bring on our ink. So what we do, we dip the nib in the ink and press a couple of times on the button to the top. I'm sure you could hear that gurgling and bubbling, which is precisely what we want to hear when we're filling these pens up. Let's pop the blind cap back onto the end of the barrel. Let's bring on our pad and let's see how the pen writes. So once again, we're going to test it live so you will see what I see. Now, one of the things that I've read with these pens, that some of them did have, well, they had a little bit of flex in the nibs. So let's see how it writes. So what we have, Parker Televisor, and as we said, this one being a junior. Nice and simple to date because it says it on the nib, and also we know when the pen was in production, but 1938. As we said, this one was made in Canada, and let's see if it has any flex. Well, I think the answer to that is yes, it does. Okay, so let's do some figure of eights. And there we have it. Let's pop the cap back on, screw that back on, and let's show you the brief writing sample. So it's writing with a fine line, although with a little bit of pressure on the downward stroke, we can actually get a little, well, we can get a variation in line from fine to, I would say maybe fine to medium. But as you can see there, it's got a flexi nib, not the most flex nibs I've ever had, but yeah, it does have a flexi nib, and it writes with a little bit of variation in the line as well. Okay, so there's a writing sample, and there we have it, a lovely little example of the Parker Televisor Junior fountain pen, made in Canada, in this lovely green marbling colour, gold fill trim, and the slimline, or not slimline, the streamlined clip to the top of the cap there. All in all, a lovely little pen, and I'm sure somebody will enjoy this pen for many years to come, so let's try and find a new home for it. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pen as much as I've enjoyed showing them to you people. Leave a comment below, don't be shy. Have you subscribed? If not, subscribe now. And last but not least, if you can, please, down below there, please support my work. But for now, I'll just say bye bye for now.